All right, let's dive in. Today, we're plunging into the world of the ocean's sneakiest and deadliest creatures. And no, we're not talking about the usual suspects. We're talking about the masters of camouflage, the wielders of unseen venoms, and the paragons of pure power. The hidden killers that prove the most dangerous things in the deep are the ones you truly never see coming.
You know, that line just says it all, doesn't it? The biggest threats out there aren't the monsters with giant teeth that you can spot from a mile away. Nope. The real killers, they're the ones you don't see at all. Until, of course, it's way too late.
So let's start with maybe the most deceptive of these threats, the fatal attractions. These are the animals whose incredible danger is hidden behind this mask of stunning beauty or an appearance so harmless you'd never, ever guess the threat that's lurking just below the surface. First up, the lionfish. This thing practically weaponizes its own good looks. It looks like it swam right out of a fantasy film, just drifting through the water. But all those beautiful flowing fins, they're hiding 18 venomous spines. It doesn't even have to be aggressive. Its very existence is its defense. A simple brush up against it delivers agonizing pain. And this defense is so good that as an invasive species in the Atlantic, its population has just gone through the roof.
Okay, so we go from flashy beauty to the, well, beauty of perfect camouflage. The stonefish is widely known as the most venomous fish on the entire planet, and its whole game plan is based on one thing: not being seen. It is literally impossible to tell apart from the rocky seafloor it calls home. It doesn't hunt you, it just waits for some poor, unsuspecting foot to press down on its back. And that quote, that is not an exaggeration. The pain from a stonefish sting is so immediate, so unbelievably intense, that there are actual documented cases of victims screaming for doctors to just cut off the limb rather than live with the agony. Seriously. Before they developed an antivenom back in 1959, stepping on one of these was pretty much a death sentence. And now for a fatal attraction, where we humans literally reach for the danger ourselves. For centuries, people have actively looked for the textile cone snail. And you can see why. Its shell, with that incredible geometric pattern, it's a huge prize for collectors. You see this gorgeous object just sitting there on the seafloor, and your first instinct is, I've got to pick that up. But that gorgeous shell is a loaded gun. The snail can shoot a tiny harpoon-like tooth out in any direction. It can even shoot it backward in less than half a second. The venom is this cocktail of neurotoxins, and with no antivenom, the mortality rate is thought to be as high as 70%. That beautiful collector's item is one of the most brutally efficient killers in the entire ocean. All right, let's shift gears. You see how this is building, right? We're going from dangers that are just hiding in plain sight to dangers that are, for all intents and purposes, completely invisible. These are creatures that you could swim right through and never even know they were there. And you've got two very different kinds of invisible threats here. On one hand, you have something like the moon jellyfish. It's almost totally see-through, and its danger really comes from its numbers. You swim into a swarm of millions, and a bad allergic reaction can put you in serious trouble. But then, on the other hand, you have the box jellyfish, the most venomous marine animal on Earth. This thing actively hunts with 24 eyes, and its venom attacks your skin, your nerves, and your heart all at the same time. Death can happen in as little as 2 minutes. So if the box jellyfish is this visible, terrifying monster, the Irukandji is a microscopic nightmare. I mean, we are talking about a creature whose body, the bell, is only about the size of your thumbnail. It's completely invisible in open water, and yet it's responsible for a medical condition so bad it has its own name: Irukandji syndrome. And this is what happens. And that phrase, a feeling of impending doom, that isn't just a patient being dramatic. That is a formal, medically recognized symptom of the sting. The venom triggers catastrophic pain, vomiting, and this bizarre psychological state where patients become utterly convinced that they are about to die. It's terror that attacks you physically and neurologically at the same time. You know, that feeling of impending doom is the perfect bridge to our next category of killers. These are the ones whose venoms launch a direct assault on the human nervous system, creating what you can only call a neurological nightmare. This neurological war is fought with something called tetrodotoxin. It's one of the most horrifying substances in all of nature. See, it doesn't kill you with pain, and it doesn't knock you out. It works by blocking the nerve signals from your brain to your muscles. This leads to total paralysis, including the muscles you need to breathe, all while your mind is wide awake and perfectly aware. And, you guessed it, there is no antivenom. And you find the same terrifying toxin in two very different packages. You've got the Blue-Ringed Octopus, which is only about the size of a golf ball. It gives you a painless little bite after it flashes its famous warning rings. And then there's the pufferfish, which is a delicacy, fugu, where living or dying comes down to the razor-thin precision of the chef preparing it. But look at the bottom line. The outcome is identical. The victim suffocates, completely, consciously aware of every single second.
Just think about that number for a second. 26. A single creature, small enough to sit in the palm of your hand, carries enough poison to kill 26 grown adults. It's an absolutely mind-boggling concentration of lethality in such a tiny, unassuming little package. Okay, so we've seen the horror of venom and poison, but some of the ocean's most effective killers, they don't need any toxins at all. Their danger comes from something far more primal, just pure, overwhelming, and ruthlessly efficient physical force. I mean, just look at this. The difference in power is just staggering. A human bite registers at about 160 psi. A great white shark? 4,000. A saltwater crocodile? 3,700. We're not just talking about a bigger bite. These creatures are playing in a totally different league. It's a level of force that is almost impossible for us to even wrap our heads around. And the saltwater crocodile uses that insane bite force with terrifying precision. It's the ultimate ambush predator, exploding from what looks like perfectly still water. The attack is a brutally simple machine. It bites, it drags you underwater, and then it starts the death roll, this violent, spinning motion that disorients, dismembers, and drowns its prey. Most of its victims never even knew it was there. Now here's a different spin on mechanical threat, the Titan triggerfish. It isn't venomous, but it is unbelievably territorial. It defends this invisible cone-shaped area right above its nest on the seafloor. If you, a diver, swim into that cone and then swim up, it sees that as a direct attack on its nest, and it will charge you. Its teeth are strong enough to crack open coral, and they can easily break bone. The danger here is purely about behavior. You have to know the invisible rules of its house to get out safely. Okay, for our last section, we've saved a creature that isn't just deadly. It operates on a level of physics and perception that is frankly almost alien to us. This animal forces you to completely rethink what words like fast and powerful even mean. Let's start with the speed. The mantis shrimp can accelerate its little club-like claw at 10,400 Gs. That's the same force a bullet feels leaving a gun. It reaches a top speed of 23 meters per second. This is, by a massive margin, the fastest predatory strike of any animal on this planet. And that incredible speed does something that seems to break the laws of physics. It moves so fast that it literally boils the water in front of it, which creates a little air bubble. When that bubble collapses, it releases a powerful shockwave and a flash of heat that reaches almost 4,000 degrees Celsius. So get this, the mantis shrimp can kill or stun its prey with a shockwave, even if its physical claw completely misses. But beyond its power, it sees a world that we can't even dream of. We see the world through 3 types of color receptors, red, green, and blue. The mantis shrimp has 16. It is literally seeing colors and types of light that we can't even begin to imagine. It experiences a version of reality that is fundamentally, completely alien to us. So think about this. A mantis shrimp's strike is so fast it could hit an opponent twice before a human brain could even process the first hit. It operates in a world that is beyond our own perception. And that really is the ultimate question the ocean leaves us with. Surrounded by killers we can't see, toxins we can't survive, and physics we can barely comprehend, what else is down there that we just can't perceive?